Have you ever studied English for years, learned thousands of words, and understood grammar rules, but still felt completely lost during a real conversation? Someone speaks to you in English. You understand the first few words. Then they continue talking. The sentences become faster. The words connect, and suddenly your mind goes blank. You know that you have learned those words before, but your brain cannot process them quickly enough. Maybe you start translating. Maybe you focus on one unfamiliar word. Maybe you become nervous and stop listening completely. Then, after the conversation ends, you think, I knew those words. Why couldn't I understand them? Here's the truth. Knowing English and processing English in real time are two different skills. You may have trained your brain to study English, but not to experience English naturally. Real conversations do not give you time to open a dictionary, analyze grammar, or translate every sentence. Your brain must recognize sounds, understand meaning, and prepare a response almost automatically. The good news is that this ability can be trained. You do not need a special talent. You do not need to live in an English-speaking country, and you do not need to memorize thousands of new words before you begin. You need the right method. In today's lesson, you will discover a powerful step-by-step system for training your brain to understand real English conversations. You will learn how to process English faster, stop depending on translation, recognize natural speech, and respond with more confidence. So, put on your headphones, take a deep breath, and let's train your brain for real English. Part 1. Why real conversations feel so difficult. Before we learn the method, we need to understand the real problem. Many English learners believe they cannot follow conversations because they do not know enough vocabulary. Sometimes that is true, but very often, vocabulary is not the main problem. The real problem is processing speed. Imagine someone says, I was going to call you, but I got caught up at work. You may know every word in this sentence. You know call, you know work, you know going to. You may even know the expression caught up, but during a fast conversation, your brain has several jobs to do at the same time. First, it must hear the sounds correctly. Second, it must recognize the words. Third, it must understand the meaning. Fourth, it must remember the beginning of the sentence. Fifth, it must follow what comes next. And finally, it may need to prepare an answer. That is a lot of mental work. If your brain is still translating, analyzing grammar, or searching for individual words, it becomes overloaded. This is why you may understand a sentence when you read it, but fail to understand the same sentence when you hear it. Reading allows you to stop. You can look at the sentence again. You can analyze each word. Real conversation keeps moving. You cannot ask the speaker to pause after every phrase. That means your training must prepare your brain for speed, uncertainty, and continuous meaning. Part 2. Stop training. Only for perfect English. Traditional English study often gives learners perfect sentences. The speaker talks slowly. Every word is pronounced clearly. There is no background noise. There are no interruptions. The grammar is complete, but real conversations are different. People say, "Wanna come?" instead of, "Do you want to come?" They say, "I don't know," instead of, "I do not know." They interrupt themselves. They change direction. They use expressions like, kind of, let me think. They may laugh while speaking. They may speak quietly. They may leave sentences unfinished because the meaning is already clear. For example, if I'd known earlier, I probably would have. The speaker may not even finish the sentence, but native listeners understand the idea from context. If you only train with slow, perfect English, real speech will always feel like a shock. You need to train your brain with natural English while still controlling the difficulty. The answer is not to begin with the fastest movie you can find. The answer is to use short, realistic conversations and study them deeply. Part 3. The ultimate training method. The method has 5 stages: predict, listen, notice, rebuild, respond. Each stage trains a different part of your brain. Together, they help you move from passive understanding to real conversational ability. Let's explore each stage carefully. Stage 1. Predict the conversation. Most learners press play immediately. They begin listening without preparing their brain, but strong listeners use context. Before listening, look at the situation and predict what you may hear. Ask yourself, who is speaking? Where are they? What is probably happening? What vocabulary might appear? What questions might they ask? Imagine the topic is ordering coffee. Before listening, you can predict phrases such as, "What can I get for you? I'd like a coffee. Would you like milk? Anything else? To stay or to go?" When your brain predicts possible language, it becomes ready to recognize it. This does not mean you must guess every sentence correctly. Prediction simply gives your brain a direction. Think of it like entering a dark room. Without context, you cannot see anything. But when someone turns on a small light, shapes become easier to recognize. Context is that light. Practice. Example. Imagine two friends are talking after work. Before listening, predict what they may discuss. Maybe they will talk about being tired, going home, eating dinner, making plans, traffic, the weekend. Now, when you hear, "I'm exhausted, I think I'm just gonna head home," your brain recognizes the meaning more quickly because it expected a conversation about work and going home. Prediction reduces mental pressure. Stage 2. Listen for meaning, not every word. Now listen to the conversation once without pausing. Your goal is not to understand every word. Your goal is to answer 3 questions. What is the main topic? What does each speaker want? How does each speaker feel? This stage is extremely important because many learners destroy their listening flow by stopping at every unknown word. Imagine this conversation. Emma: "Hey, are you free after work?" Daniel: "I'm supposed to meet Sam, but he hasn't confirmed yet." Emma: "Well, we're grabbing dinner near the station. You can join us if your plans change." Daniel: "Sounds good. I'll let you know." Maybe you missed the phrase, "I'm supposed to meet Sam," but you catch, "After work, dinner, station, join us, I'll let you know." That is enough to understand the situation. Emma invites Daniel to dinner. Daniel may have another plan. He will decide later. You do not need 100% understanding to follow the conversation. This is one of the most important mental changes you can make. Your brain must learn to continue even when something is unclear. Real conversation is not an exam. You are allowed to miss small pieces. The goal is to stay connected to the meaning. Stage 3. Notice natural English. After listening for the general meaning, listen again and study how the language actually sounds. This is where you compare textbook English with real English. Pay attention to 3 things: connected words, reduced sounds, conversation chunks. Let's look at an example. What are you going to do? In careful speech, you hear every word. But in natural conversation, it may sound like, "What are you going to do?" Now examine the changes. What are you becomes what are ya. Going to becomes gonna. The sentence has not changed in meaning, only the sound pattern has changed. Another example, did you want to come with us? Natural speech may sound like, did you want to come with us? If your brain is waiting for the clear textbook version, it may not recognize the natural version. That is why noticing matters. You are teaching your brain. This fast sound equals this familiar sentence. Common natural patterns. Do you may sound like dia. Did you may sound like didja. Would you may sound like woulda. Want to may sound like wanna. Going to may sound like gonna. Have to may sound like hafta. Let me may sound like lemmy. Give me may sound like gimme. You do not need to force these forms into every sentence you speak, but you need to recognize them when others use them. Recognition comes before production. Learn complete chunks. Do not only study individual words, learn complete phrases that appear in conversations. For example, I'm not really sure. It depends on, what do you mean? Let me think about it. I didn't catch that. That sounds good. I'll get back to you. As far as I know, you've got a point. These chunks are powerful because your brain can process them as one unit. When you hear, "I'm not really sure," you should not analyze. I am not really sure. Your brain should recognize the entire phrase immediately. This saves time and mental energy. Native speakers use thousands of familiar chunks. The more chunks you recognize, the slower English will seem. Stage 4. Rebuild the conversation. Now comes the part that transforms passive listening into active training. After listening to a short sentence, pause the audio and try to rebuild what you heard. You do not need to repeat it perfectly at first. Start with the meaning. For example, you hear, "I was going to call you, but I completely forgot." Pause. Now try to repeat it. Maybe you say, "I wanted to call you, but I forgot." That is okay. You understood the meaning. Listen again and improve your version. "I was going to call you, but I completely forgot." Now repeat the exact sentence. This process trains listening memory, grammar recognition, natural rhythm, sentence formation, pronunciation. It also teaches your brain to hold English in short-term memory. That skill is essential in conversation. You need to remember what someone has just said while processing what they say next. Use the pause and rebuild exercise. Choose a short clip of 20 to 40 seconds, play one sentence, pause, repeat what you remember, play it again, check what you missed, repeat the correct version, then move to the next sentence. At first, you may only remember a few words. Do not worry. Your listening memory becomes stronger through practice. Think of it like exercise. The first day, the weight feels heavy. After repeated training, the same weight feels easier. Your brain adapts in the same way. Stage 5. Respond to the speaker. Many learners practice listening, but they never practice responding. They understand the audio, but when someone asks a question, they freeze. That happens because understanding and answering are separate skills. You must train both. After every short conversation, imagine that one speaker turns to you. What would you say? For example, "Are you doing anything this weekend?" Pause the video. Answer naturally. "Not really, I'll probably stay home." Or, "Yeah, I'm meeting some friends on Saturday." Another question. "Have you tried that new restaurant?" Respond. "No, not yet. Is it good?" Or, "Yeah, I went there last week." Your answer does not need to be long. Real conversations often use short responses. The important thing is teaching your brain to move from listening to speaking. The 3-second response rule. After hearing a question, give yourself 3 seconds to respond. Do not wait for the perfect sentence. Do not translate a complicated answer. Say something simple and clear. Question: "What did you do yesterday?" Response: "I worked most of the day." Question: "Do you like learning English?" Response: "Yes, especially listening practice." Question: "Why are you learning English?" Response: "I want to communicate more confidently." This exercise reduces hesitation. Your brain learns that communication is more important than perfection. Part 4. A full conversation, training example. Now let's use the entire 5-stage method with one conversation. The situation: 2 coworkers are talking about lunch. Before listening, predict what you may hear. Possible phrases: "Are you hungry?" "What do you want to eat?" "I brought lunch." "Let's go somewhere." "I'm busy." Now listen to the conversation. Maya: "Hey, are you heading out for lunch?" Alex: "I was thinking about it, but I've got a lot to finish." Maya: "We're going to that new place across the street." Alex: "I've heard it's good." Maya: "Come with us. You can take a short break." Alex: "Okay, you convinced me." Step 1. Understand the meaning. What is happening? Maya is going to lunch. Alex is busy. Maya invites him. Alex agrees. That is the main message. Step 2. Notice natural speech. In fast English, it might sound like, "Hey, are you heading out for lunch?" "I was thinking about it, but I've got a lot to finish." "We're going to that new place across the street." "I've heard it's good." "Come with us. You can take a short break." "Okay, you convinced me." Notice, "are you" becomes "are ya." got a may sound like gotta. The sounds connect. Going to that may flow together. Across the street becomes one familiar phrase. Step 3, rebuild, repeat. Are you heading out for lunch? I've got a lot to finish. We're going to that new place across the street. You can take a short break. You convinced me. Step 4, respond. Now, imagine Maya asks you, are you heading out for lunch? Answer, yeah, I'm going in a few minutes. Or, no, I brought something from home. Now, imagine Alex says, I've got a lot to finish. Respond, you should still take a short break. You are no longer just listening. You are participating. That is how you prepare for real conversations. Part 5. Stop translating. Inside your head, translation is one of the biggest obstacles to conversational speed. When you hear a sentence, your brain may follow this process. Hear English, translate it, understand the translation, create an answer in your language, translate the answer into English, speak. This process takes too long. Real conversation requires a shorter path. Hear English, understand the idea, respond in English. To build this direct connection, you need to connect English with images, actions, emotions, and situations. When you hear, I'm running late, imagine someone checking the time and rushing. When you hear, I'll think about it, imagine someone delaying a decision. When you hear, that's not a big deal, feel the meaning of something being unimportant. Do not translate every phrase. Experience it. Use simple definitions in English. When you learn a new phrase, explain it with easy English. For example, cancel means to decide that something will not happen. Nervous means worried or uncomfortable about what may happen. Catch up means talk to someone and share recent news. Run out of means have nothing left. Simple English definitions strengthen the connection between English and meaning. Your brain becomes less dependent on your first language. Part 6. Train with short content. Many learners choose long movies or one-hour podcasts. They listen passively and hope their brain will improve. Long content can be useful, but short content is better for focused training. Choose a clip between 20 seconds and 1 minute. Why? Because you can repeat it. You can notice details. You can shadow the speakers. You can remember the phrases. You can respond to the questions. A short conversation studied deeply can teach you more than an entire movie watched with subtitles. Quality of attention is more important than quantity of content. Part 7. Shadow. Real conversations. Shadowing means repeating the speaker immediately after hearing the sentence. It trains your ears and mouth together. Let's practice. Repeat. I'm not sure what you mean. Now naturally, I'm not sure what you mean. Again, I'm not sure what you mean. Next. Do you want to talk about it? Natural version. Do you want to talk about it? Again. Do you want to talk about it? Next. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Natural version. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Again. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Next. What are you doing later? Natural version. What are you doing later? Again. What are you doing later? Do not focus only on individual sounds. Copy the rhythm. Notice which words are strong. Notice which words become weak. English conversation is built around rhythm, not equal pronunciation. Part 8. The 20-minute daily routine. You can use this method every day in only 20 minutes. Minutes 1 to 3. Predict. Choose a short conversation. Look at the title, image, or situation. Predict possible vocabulary and ideas. Minutes 4 to 7. Listen for meaning. Listen 2 or 3 times without subtitles. Focus on the topic, purpose, and emotion. Minutes 8 to 12. Notice, check the English transcript or subtitles. Identify connected speech, reduce sounds, and useful chunks. Minutes 13 to 16. Rebuild pause after each sentence. Repeat from memory. Listen again and correct yourself. Minutes 17 to 19. Respond. Answer the speaker's questions. Add your own comments. Imagine you are inside the conversation. Minute 20. Final listening. Play the full clip one last time without subtitles. Notice how much clearer it sounds. This final listening is important. It shows your brain that the previously difficult conversation is now understandable. That feeling builds confidence and motivation. Part 9. Common mistakes to avoid mistake. 1. Choosing content that is too difficult. If you understand almost nothing, your brain cannot build useful patterns. Choose content where you understand the general topic. Mistake 2. Studying only individual words. Vocabulary is important, but conversations are built from phrases. Learn words inside useful chunks. Mistake 3. Waiting for perfect understanding. You do not need to understand every sound. Follow the meaning and continue listening. Mistake 4. Never speaking. During listening practice, listening without responding keeps you passive. Pause and answer the speaker. Mistake 5. Changing content. Too quickly, do not listen once and immediately find another video. Repeat until the conversation becomes familiar. Mistake 6. Translating every sentence. Try to connect English directly to situations and ideas. Mistake 7. Being afraid of mistakes. Your response does not need to be perfect. Real communication grows through use, not silence. Part 10. How progress really feels. Listening progress is not always obvious. One day, English feels difficult. The next day, it may still feel difficult. You may think nothing is changing, but your brain is quietly building connections. A sound that once felt unfamiliar becomes recognizable. A phrase that once required translation becomes automatic. A question that once caused panic becomes easy to answer. Then, one day, you watch a conversation and realize you understood it without reading. You followed the speaker without translating. You predicted what they would say next. You responded naturally in your mind. That is the result of training. Your brain is not simply learning English. It is learning how to operate in English. Part 11. Your 30-day conversation challenge. For the next 30 days, use one short conversation every day. Remember the 5 stages: predict, listen, notice, rebuild, respond. Do not try to study for hours. 20 focused minutes is enough. During the challenge, keep a notebook. Write down 3 things each day: 1 useful phrase, 1 natural pronunciation pattern, 1 response you could use in a real conversation. For example, useful phrase, "I'll get back to you." Natural pattern, "Do you" sounds like dia. Response, "That sounds good to me." After 30 days, you will have 30 useful conversations, dozens of natural expressions, stronger listening memory, faster responses, more confidence. Most importantly, your brain will begin to expect English instead of fearing it. Final message. Remember, the goal is not to become a walking dictionary. The goal is not to analyze every grammar rule during a conversation. The goal is to understand meaning and respond naturally. Train your brain to use context. Train it to recognize complete phrases. Train it to stay calm when one word is unclear. Train it to rebuild what it hears. And train it to respond without waiting for perfection. Real English conversations become easier when English stops being only a subject you study and becomes a language you actively experience. Start with short conversations. Practice every day. Repeat more, translate less, respond quickly, and trust the process. If this lesson helped you, subscribe to English Flow Academy for more listening practice, natural English conversations, shadowing exercises, and effective methods that help you understand and speak real English. Write this sentence in the comments: "I am training my brain to think and respond in English." Keep listening, keep responding, and keep building your English flow. See you in the next lesson.